If the boards, executive teams, or founders accept that resilience is operational proof, not just a policy, what needs to change first, right? So you say, okay, now we have an operational proof that we need to put it together with evidence. So what we need to change first? So here's where I come as a board advisor. I suggest three things. The first thing is define important business services that matter most to customers, the regulators, and cash flow, right? So don't forget about cash flow, because these are the things that actually keep the company operating. Also have to satisfy the regulators, because you don't want to notice a fine or an inspection, or if it comes, you are ready for that. And obviously your customer, because that's the purpose of the services or products that you're doing. So not every process is equal. So the boards, executive teams, and founders need clarity on what absolutely must stay running, and then the rest, it could be a secondary, but you have to justify why these things are not addressed as a primary issue, right? The second thing I would suggest is test the weak joints. So don't test the things that are already working, but test the things that today are not really working. So what are the third parties? Identity control, recovery time, data handling, escalation routes, response, and recovery capabilities now a central part of resilience, not an afterthought. And I say resilience because remember, we are using cybersecurity today as an example of resilience, but resilience does spread around the whole organization. Now, the third thing to consider is that move resilience out of the specialist silo and into your board, non-executive or executive teams and founders' rhythm. Right? As I mentioned earlier, this is something that you have to look into and have to be aware what's going on. It's not just aware on the paper and say, oh yeah, we checked that. Say, hold on a second, show me the evidence that the things are as described here in these papers, for example, these policies. So where is the evidence of the test? Where is the evidence of the chain of or the cadence of evidence? Or where are the change of the triage, meaning who is responsible for what, when? Where is the protocol for calling,